I have the other ones available in there.
Wait.
But
What? So, Luke, what are you drinking today? Coca-Cola.
Morning on the way to the gym and set my ukulele on top of the car and then drove off down the road.
I need a bow after that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Look at that.
I learned my lesson from last time.
What a welcome, thank you. I drink the most fruity drinks imaginable.
It's laundry day.
it's laundry day.
So you always wear hats with laundry day?
I'm here to give you a favor, James.
I just say, believe it.
So how did you two meet?
Well, there's these places in San Francisco. I think they're called bathhouses.
It's like one of those things where everyone wants to focus on like the big events that happen, but day to day, what we're doing is we're on like one of our draw streams, smoking weed, making comics. It's chill. It's so much fun, and like
Yes. Man, I'm not a YouTuber. I do this because I want to sell comic books. Woo! Yes! Yes, guys! It is Sunday! It is Sunday. This means another episode of A Drink with Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their hopes and their dreams and their lives, but also their books and their campaigns. Because, frankly, I'm kind of bored with the mainstream. Corporate comics kind of suck, and indie is where the passion is. My girl's closing the window right now because I'm making too much noise. All right, guys. Welcome. So, yeah, you saw the little animation of Perfect 10 because the pre-launch page for Perfect 10 book 5, we're at 5 books now, 5 issues, is active. So you can sign up. So please do sign up because we have a little like early bird thing, like rewards, right? So if you back early, you get something extra. And so just sign up so you get notified when we go live. And and it's going to be a fantastic book. I just love working on this series. It's just crazy. It's crazy cool. POWERTRIP is a fantastic artist. I can't believe I'm getting to work with all these amazing talents. So yes, I'm just lucky. I'm lucky. Right. And I saw Mike is in the chat with us. Mike. Hello, Mike. How are you? Hello, Dave. Good day and welcome to John and all here. Yes. Thanks for being here, Mike. Guys, if you're watching, share out this stream. Let's bring in some more people. Bring some more people to the show because we have a wonderful new guest to the show. So, new guest to the show. This book. It's a wonderful book. It's not new to me. I had this show critique my campaign with Michael Oden, and we discussed this campaign, and it was a wonderful campaign. It looked really cool. And when we during that stream, it was last week ago, they had like 12 backers, and now guys, they have 59. So they're doing something right. So this is really cool. I'm really glad that they're here. Let me see if I have everything set up correctly. I think that I do. So let's do this, guys. Let's have a very warm welcome for Mr. John Schell.
How do you do, sir?
John, did I pronounce your last name correct?
Schell, yes, sir. You got it
All right.
correct. Unlike a lot of people, they call me Schell.
Schell,
So
yes.
you got it right.
All right. Good. Okay. Welcome, John.
Thank you.
How is your Sunday going?
It's going great. It's a little bit of a rainy day, but it's going really well so far.
Excellent.
How about yourself, man?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. It's
Awesome.
It's vacation. So next week's my vacation. I had vacation last week. I have vacation the upcoming week. So I have time to write finally.
Yeah.
So writing, that's one of my favorite things ever. Plus, there's always work to do. There's always stuff.
Mhm.
And you are a first-time comic creator, or?
No, sir. So I actually, I've written quite a few comics. So I started back before COVID, and we kind of got into the COVID era where indie comics really boomed. And I was releasing my first comic book. It was called The Last Wand, and
Last one. So
yeah,
the
The
first
Last
comic book
Wand.
was called The Last One. That's
Yes, it was. Yes.
luckily that wasn't prophetic, right?
Exactly, The Last One. Yeah. No, so it was, that was my first book. And then, I don't tell a lot of people this. The first book I ever wrote was actually, it was a zombie story, and I wrote it. I had it produced. It cost me like $3,500. And then I got all the files and they were corrupted, and the artist's computer died, and I lost everything.
What?
So like I have the original files, and they're like they're both corrupted and the wrong size. And so I never actually came out with that book. So I just reset, and completely went with a different series. And that was The Last One, which I actually self-published. And I think we did like $3,200 on the first campaign I ever did on Kickstarter. And that was 3 or 4 years ago. So
Oh, that's nice. $3,200 for your first campaign? That's pretty good, man.
Yeah, it was a different time back then, and I was
right.
I was very much involved in the indie comic book community back then. I don't know if you heard of Page One Comics way back in the day.
No.
But it was with Jimmy Reyes and a few other people, and we were all we would just do live streams together, hang out. There wasn't really much else we could do during that time, and I was in the process of creating my comic book, so I was able to kind of promote it back then, and got it out there. So we had a really good turnout for the first book.
Wow, that's excellent. Yes, and Mike, thank you so much for the reminder. This time I thought about it, so thank you. Yeah. So you had something for today. I think we should start with that, because that is something that will last the entire hour, right? So so we had something extra for today for the people watching right now.
Yes. So if you back during the campaign, you guys will get a free hard copy, an actual copy right here of The Last Wand, issue 1.
Oh, that is.
And these are what's interesting about this is these are actually technically misprints. So it says 02 and it's supposed to be 01, and I have 50 of these. So they were in my other room, and I'm like, I'm not going to just throw these books away, right? So I decided, hey, you know what? If people want to back, sorry for the ASMR on this, but I'll open it up for you guys. But I was like, why not give these guys, a free book if they back today on the stream? So this is kind of like what you'll get with the interior art.
Oh, yeah.
So this is one that we just funded not too long ago. And it's got some pretty crazy.
Wow, look at that. Look at that creature.
Yeah, that is called a Godwalker. So it's a demented pet to the demonic gods. They were believed to be killed, but well, obviously it wasn't. So kind of comes up. There's a lot of magic, a lot of stuff. This is a 44-page book too. So
Wow.
There's a lot to it. So that will come free if you back Wingless today. All I need to know is your backer number so that I
Sure.
can make sure that you get the book with your order. But it will come free if you back during the stream today.
That's a fantastic deal. So guys, if you back today, let us know in the chat. So you get your free comic book with it. So you got this print run. So how many misprints did you receive?
50 total.
Oh, 50 total. All right. So the damage was pretty manageable.
It was manageable. Yes, it was. Yes.
Yeah.
This was interesting. I was like, you know, it was just one number, but it is what it is. It happened, and the book's still the same. It's just that's the only difference, and it's kind of unique because there's only a certain amount of them made. So,
right. So yeah, I would be a little bit afraid that these books would go out into like because people get them and then they're out there, and then number 2 goes out there and it's the wrong book, you know. So these things would get into my head. But yeah.
So a special thing for today's stream. I'm excited to be able to give that to whoever wants it. You know.
That is fantastic. That's very generous. So guys, remember that, and we will take a look at the campaign in a little bit. But I forgot to ask you one question, John, that needed to start with. I completely messed up, so I'll do it right now. Okay. What are you drinking?
Oh goodness! Am I allowed to show this on stream?
Yeah, sure.
It's called an Alani. It's an American energy drink.
Oh, energy drink.
Yes. Yeah.
Alani.
My 4th one today. I live off energy drinks. Probably not the best health recommendation, but it is what keeps me going every day. So.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. So how many hours do you sleep? Do you get enough sleep, or is it?
I get about 6 hours of sleep. My work schedule's. I'm up at 5:30. I work from 6:30 until about 5 p.m. And from 5 p.m. to when I'm going to bed, I'm usually writing comics, working on Bentox comics. I'm sure you talked to Chris O'Hara. He and I both run that company together. So a lot of things happen on the back end.
That is awesome. That's awesome. Right. Jens, there is was it like a power drink? Something like that?
Yes. Yep.
Jens, do you have that?
A what? No. Too bad, Jens.
I was like, who else is on the stream? I was confused for a second. That was funny.
That's Jens. He always likes to know what people drink. So yeah. Bentox Comics. I talked to Chris. Had a fantastic book about Vincent Van Gogh. I've got the name.
Artificial.
Oh yes, that was it. I bought it also. Yeah, it's that was a good-looking book also. So how did you get together to create Bentox Comics?
Yeah, so I've been doing comics for quite a while, at least 5-6 years, and Chris and I we went to high school together, and we watched a zombie movie, and it was horrible. And we went out, like all friends do. We go out the parking lot afterwards, and we're just talking about how bad the movie was. And I'm like, man, why don't we do our own thing, right? Why don't we make our own movie? And we're like, well, we don't have money for that. So we're like, well, how do we get into it? Well, let's do comic books. And so we ended up talking comics. We created a company way back, like a long time ago, called Dark Heart Studios. And Heart was spelled H-A-R-T. The art was like kind of the highlight. But we ended up, going separate ways when it comes to life. We got jobs. He started a family, so we disbanded the company and kind of went on our ways. But I never stopped creating comics. So I made that zombie one that I ended up never printing. So I ended up doing the last one. When I self-published it, I talked to Chris, and Chris is like, wait, you can actually, this is legit. You can really do this. And I was like, yeah, man, I didn't know what I was doing. No idea what I was doing. Went to Facebook and was like, did the same thing I did with the previous book. And I said, hey, anybody, I'll pay you money to do pages. I have a script. My script was trash because I was, just starting out. And somebody responded to me and we made the book. I talked to Chris about it. He said, man, I want to do this. So he started writing Artificial, and then he came out with Artificial. We decided, why are we working under two different names? Let's just combine names and work under one, Bentox Comix. And so I'm in a very unique place when it comes to comics, because I'm an independent comic book writer and creator who owns a indie comic book publishing company that publishes my books. So I'm working independently as a writer and trying to make money to be able to continue writing comics, right?
Sure.
While also trying to build a brand with Chris to bring other creators in to that and help them grow their audience as well.
Right. So you have your own little like publishing house or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Me, it's just kind of John Schell, the writer, and I come out with my books, and I'm actually creating a website specifically for my books.
Okay.
Independently, but yeah, we work together on trying to bring other people into the scene.
Right. Awesome. Welcome, Michael. Michael's here. Michael Odin. 9 Realms Publishing. Yes. So what kind of books do you look for when you try to get because you're looking for certain titles or certain art styles or what?
You kind of just have an eye for it. It's kind of one of those things. If it catches your eye, catches my eye, or Chris's eye, we go, okay, hey, let's see if this guy's working independently. Let's see if he wants to even work with a small indie comic book publishing company. I completely understand for people who don't want to do publishing, right? They want to be indie. That's how I started. That's what I do. Completely understand it. So we really just reach out and say, hey, we started where you are. Is it something you're interested in, coming on board? Yeah, these are all the comics we have in our lineup right now.
Yes.
And so that's how we go about it. If we like what we see, we'll reach out. Chris does that during the day. He's got a bit more time on his hands, and I work on the back end stuff at night. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. So this is your Global Comics page.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think of Global Comics? By the way, I've been thinking about like this myself a little bit, but I have to dig in deeper to find out what the benefits are, how it functions, those kind of things. What's your experience here?
So I really do like it. It's I'm trying to learn marketing, right? And I think marketing is what most indie comic book creators struggle with the most. I see so many beautiful works, and I'm talking about myself as well. I believe in my products. I think they're really great, but why aren't they hitting the numbers? Why aren't they getting the views that some of the other comic book, indie creators are getting? And I've come to the conclusion that you have to get a lot of eyes on your project, right? The more eyes you get on your project, it'll trickle down into sales. And so Comix was a conversation that Chris and I had. Hey, how do we get more eyes on our books? Let's release them for free. Let's release it digitally for more people to look at. And then hopefully that'll bring people to the Kickstarters to help us continue to fund our books. So right now, Global Comics is a great way to get eyes on your books, right? So as you can see, Worlds Forgotten has 2.6 thousand views. That's one of my books.
So does views mean that people actually opened it and read it? Or?
Yes. Yep.
Right.
Yep. So it'll be 2.6 thousand views, and then you get another analytic called page reads, and it will tell you how many pages they read of the book. And generally, it's the whole book. So 2.6 thousand times, that's a 36-page book, and that's how many page reads you get, or 26-page book. So you kind of see how that, you can get a lot of good analytics from it. You get comments on those. You can see what people like. So we released this one for free. This is on Global Comics for free. This is one of my books, and then issue 2 is almost completed. I'll have that coming out within the next probably 2 to 3 months.
All right. So. I'm going to put the link to this in the chat, guys, so you can check it out. It has some free comics like this one, for instance. What's the benefit to you guys when you offer free books for people to read?
Just eyes, man, getting people involved, see if they like our writing style, see if they like the art style. Chris and I, we talked a lot about being a step above the rest, right? We're really trying to produce high quality indie comic books. We don't want to go mainstream. I don't want to be pitching to the big three. I want to do this, you know, on our own, right? And so we're trying to get the best quality out there and have these people come in, see if they like that quality. We've actually been told that we are too high quality for the indie space, which is interesting. But at the same time, we're not, you know, I take that as a compliment, but we're trying to just produce really good indie books. And
Too high quality.
I know, right? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy. People should strive for like professional level, right? Within the indie sphere also. There are like indie books that look like amateurish, right? But it's still indie, right? If you work smaller, the last
you can grow from there. Yeah, so this is really interesting. So the last wand one, which is the book, you know, this is the misprint of that. And by the way, I have variant covers that this is actually the cover I have the most of right here, which is one that will go out as well. So I have like 40 of these, and then I have like 5 of these.
Oh, okay.
And then I have the other one I showed previously. But the last one was actually World's Forgotten, the one that we viewed previously was originally the Last Wand series. What we did is we actually took the original and made it World's Forgotten. That's going to be the base storyline. And the Last Wand is like a prequel to that series, and that's going to be its own series. They do have some similarities, not the same artist, of course, but they're going to be in the same universe. So.
All right. Actually building something there. Michael says, I feel like too high quality for the indie space sounds like a statement made by someone not in the space.
Yeah. I got that from Chris. That was something Chris was told. So he told me about it. So I don't know exactly who it was, but I do know it's definitely people that I would say would probably be insecure about the books that are coming out. But at the same time, you shouldn't be. I mean, you created a book, man. You know, that's the first step into growth. So
definitely. And you need to want your competition to bring their best. This kind of forces you to bring your best also. We all want to like reach that professional level. And sometimes I do see like books coming out have like interesting premise or concept but it just doesn't really look like it should, you know, and just they should bring in someone to do the graphic design or whatever, or to make a professional logo or these little things, you know, these matter.
And it's all part of the growth. I mean, like I said, I had no idea what I was doing when I started. And luckily over the years, I was able to talk to really great creators and grow. And you want scalability. I made the mistake with my first book. I paid a lot of money for it. I didn't have the correct marketing for it. And I brought in like 1/4 of the amount of money I paid out for it. Right. So that hurts. So you want to start small. I would say start small, black and white, give yourself room to add color to it later, but you need to focus on scalability. So
exactly. Yes. Look, there are some people who make it big right out of the gate, right? They have number one and they have like connections or the best network or whatever. For some reason they have the perfect thing going on from the get-go, but that's very rare. So you have a lot of versions of artificial, by the way. Guys, if you're watching, reminder, if you're back during the stream, you get a free comic book. So along with your order. So if you're back, let us know. Great. All looks nice, man.
Thank you very much. We're working hard at it. You know, we're still learning as a publisher, right? So we started a publishing house without any knowledge, and we are working together to try to grow and learn what that looks like. You know, what that looks like for bringing on other creators. Do you create contracts? How does that work? Like we brought in Orium. Orium was actually a outside creator who we said, hey, we love your book. We helped them with graphic design. Different parts of the book, all free of charge, right? They're part of our publishing house. They went through Kickstarter, they fully funded, and then we sell those books at Comic-Cons and online. So it was our first big, like, oh, this can actually work, right? So it was really cool.
That's excellent. So do you work with contracts with people that you bring in?
Not yet. We don't have written contracts, but we're kind of still in that stage of more communication. We're feeling out the space is the best way to put it. We're feeling out the space, what people want to do, what they don't want to do, and then going to go from there on how we build out our contracts.
Right. Michael says, "Damn, I already backed."
I'll get you one, man. I'll get you one. I know who you are.
Yeah, it was during the initial stream. Yeah. Michael says, just to name a few that I feel would do well in direct markets if they had access to distribution on the scale of Diamond, Perfect 10, Judex, of course, Judex, Mavericks, The Embrace, Curry, and Red Eyes.
Yeah.
There are some quality books out there,
There really are. There's a lot of really good quality books. I think indie is in a really great place. I think we just need to become a bit more unified. You can't, back in sports, I played sports, the coach always said, house divided among itself is no house at all. Right. And so I feel like as an indie space, we really need to become unified if we're going to be as successful as we want for the indie comic books.
Right. Yeah, there are some people within the indie space for some reason they think the opposite needs to happen.
Yeah,
really weird. I don't know why. But by the way, I never heard of your book before. Before we did the stream about it, right? Which was remarkable. So I'm very happy that I got to know it. Let's bring it up. You can paint it on Kickstarter. And this is this is campaign. Nice Kickstarter. You're familiar with Kickstarter?
Yes, sir. Yep. This is my third campaign currently.
Right.
So yeah, I did one for the last wand. I did one for the last wand 2, and then I did one for this one as well.
Excellent.
So,
Excellent.
I have 2 more. I have 3 more books currently finished and ready to go for Kickstarter. I just need to get Kickstarter won't allow you to do 2 at once currently. So I have to do a full campaign, fulfill it, and then I can do the next campaign. So I still have 3 more books right now that are ready to go.
Oh, really? Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yep.
Holy shit. But this means so you want to give them all like campaigns also?
Yes. Yep.
So this means you have at least 4 months worth of campaigns.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
now.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, I have a lot in the, it's funny because all of them kind of got finished at once, all the books. So Heathen, I actually have a poster back here. Heathen, that's already been I already self-published it. I never ran a campaign for it, and I've already sold books on it. But I want to do a campaign for it because I want to offer it to more people than just the people at Comic-Cons and stuff like that. So that's one book. My other book is Blossom. That's written in memory of my daughter. So that's going to come out on her birthday, August 23rd. And then I have another book right now that I haven't really talked a lot about. That's also going to be coming out as well. That one, we also have the last one issue, World's Forgotten issue 2, which is also going to be coming out too. So multiple different books currently finished and ready to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a luxury. Michael asks for John, what are your overheads when you bring in a project generally?
Overheads meaning, hopefully I'm going to answer this correctly. But my overheads more or less are the cost, the cost for the artist, right? So I pay everything out of pocket for the artist, for the whole team. I pay everything out of pocket. And then I go to Kickstarter with a fully completed book. And I pray that it makes the same money back that I paid out to the team. So that doesn't generally happen, which is fine. I'm building something, right? So I completely understand that. But my overhead is really just those costs that I'm not paying myself back. My artists, my letters, my colors, everyone that works on the book is paid out before I ever hit that launch button. So, I'm trying, back in the day, and still to this day, there's a lot of people who don't fulfill books, or they fulfill them 2 years later. You're like, in a whole new house, and you forgot to change your address too because it's been 2 years and you never get the book, or or you get it and you're like, what is this book? And you don't even remember you backed it.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to come to the indie scene with a book ready and to go, to be put in a Gemini mailer. I mean, I want them like this proof to where I know that I want the trust of my backer when they back the book, and that's how I come to the playing field.
So basically, what you need to do when this campaign is done is print them.
Exactly. Well, yeah, and what's funny is I already have them printed too. So I already have about 100 copies of each cover ready to go, because we also do Comic-Cons. So I have those on hand for Comic-Cons at the same time. So these books are done. They're ready to go. They just need to be bagged and boarded. Everything's bagged and boarded, put in a Gemini mailer, and sent out.
All right. Well, guys, let's get John here to 500 back, so he can do another print order, right?
Exactly. And keep going, man. Keep going, because there's so many stories in that Google Doc right now. Just like you would know, man. You probably got so many stories on the back burner.
Yeah. The good thing also is at least that's how I function. Is that when I write, I like to have multiple projects going on, so I can jump from script to script. When I don't feel this script today, I can jump to the other one, right? And this way you also get more done.
Exactly.
I think. But anyway, shall we take a look at the trailer?
Yeah, let's go ahead, man.
There we go.
We're all born into this world helpless. It's only the love of our parents that build us up to be the fowl we were meant to be. Every birdie knows this. In my case, I was born to be helpless my whole life, so the world would have had me believe. It was my father who taught me how to overcome my disabilities, and my mother who nurtured me to be a caring person. But now, they're gone, and it is up to me to survive in this God-forsaken world. I know this isn't what they would have wanted, but I'm just so lost. Justice must be paid.
Okay. Oh, you shortened it. You shortened the trailer.
I've got multiple trailers, and I keep switching them out. So I actually, before I launched the campaign, I currently have like 5 trailers done. And so I'm just kind of filtering through as I go throughout the campaign.
Yeah. Did you do the voiceover? Was it
no? Else? So I do have one guy I hired. I have a very long trailer, and I'll be posting that up in the next week. It's actually a David Attenborough who does all your all your, what would you call it? Your Animal Planet and all that. He's the narrator for that.
Yeah.
So I got in David Attenborough sound-alike, and he sounds just like him off Fiverr because it's birds, right? It's like, I wanted to have something that did, somebody who did animal stuff. And so I have like a 2-minute long trailer, and it actually has a lot of views. I'm going to be putting that up next week. And yeah, so that was the only voice I hired. This is actually an AI generated voice where I did all the scripts, right? I type it all in, I hit enter, I have to adjust the way that the voice sounds, and then that's how you do the background voice.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't hear it nowadays. That is not real, right? It's
exactly, and that's the only AI I'm ever gonna do. So don't worry about that. I'm obviously I'm with Bentox and whatnot, but I'm like, come on, it's a voice. I can use a voice, right?
Yeah. Wow, that sounded nice. But what I found remarkable, that's supposed to be the voice of the little bird, right?
Yep, and that's him as an adult. That's kind of his voice. As
an
adult.
Okay,
yeah.
Right.
I wanted to do a narration style, and I wanted, when you do a voice for a character, that's what the person is going to hear, right? When they read it. So I had to be really careful with the voice I chose, and so it's funny because the AI voice I use is like this American war hero, deep voice, and I'm like, I got to do a narration for Astro as an adult, or else it doesn't make sense as this little baby bird sounding like a full-grown man who's a war hero. So it was fun.
Yeah. Michael says the real struggle of an indie creator: how to fund the billions of ideas you have as writer. Yeah,
100%.
there are so many concepts that will never see the light of day. But we have to accept this and be grateful for the books that we can produce, right?
Exactly.
Guys, 59 backers. Give us another backer today. 60 backers, you get a free extra book. Let's bring in some more people. Share out the stream. This is a fantastic looking book. Look at this. So Wingless. Can you tell us a little bit about this concept, about the story?
Yes. So yeah, it's a young bird born without wings, must navigate a world on the brink of destruction. So that's our little tagline. My mother's favorite bird is a red cardinal, and so when I don't know how these stories come to my head, but I was like, I want to do something different in the superhero genre, but I want to do it with animals. So how do I do that? And Wingless was born. So Wingless is much more, as you can see, the glowing red eyes and stuff like that. Wingless is much more than just some animal story about a young baby bird born without wings, right? There's actual superhero elements to it that will come into play. And one really fun thing to mention is the last wand. Wingless and my other story, Blossom and Heathen, are all in the same universe. So you won't, there'll be tiny little points where they intertwine, but more or less they are all in the same universe. So Wingless is, it's just that. It's about this red cardinal. You'll see in issue 1 what happens to kind of bring him to the beginning of the series, right, where he's going to leap off of and continue his story. Everyone has a background. Everybody has, a beginning, and issue 1 follows that for Astro, who's the main character.
Astro, right? All right, cool. What I always love is with these cartoony styles that these birds, they have like teeth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
it looks so weird if they don't have teeth, man.
So yeah, I know. Now you can give them like grins and a bit more human expression.
Yeah, personify him. Yeah, 100%. And that character right there is Crowbar. He's a crow, obviously. So I focus a lot on my villains. The age-old saying that your story is only as good as the villain. I believe in that 100%. So Crowbar has a very unique past and history, very compelling story. And I named him Crowbar because if you look at it was so perfect. He's a crow, and if you look at a crowbar, it's got a fork at the end of the crowbar. And so I was like, let's make his beak forked, and boom, Crowbar was born.
Yes, plus it gives him this distinct look from the other crows, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, man, that's really well done. So you designed all these characters?
Yes, sir. Yep.
And your artist is called
Veronica Saraceno, or I hope I'm not massacring that, but yeah.
All right. Where did you find her? She's fantastic.
Again on Facebook. So I'm very active on comic book writers, looking for artists and things like that, different pages. And when I have a story, I know what I see in my head, right? And I have to be able to work with an artist that I can also see being able to put that on paper. And so she came up, and I think she just made like a little ad, and I keep these in my back burner. I'm not even sometimes actively looking, but if I see it and it just feels right, I pull the trigger. And when I saw her art, I was like, this is the book the artist for Wingless. And I contacted her. She said she was available, and the past is, history.
Wow. Well, you struck gold, man, because this is absolutely beautiful. Does she also do the coloring? Is it someone else?
The coloring is Dan Olvera. I also found him through the same page. He was looking for some work. He did he was doing some Spawn coloring a few months ago, and I really liked the way it looked. And I was like, man, you also have some cartoony styles to it. So I got him on board, and he did a great job.
It's absolutely beautiful. Welcome, Quantum Age Comics. Welcome. Mike says Veronica's style reminds me of Don Bluth's, the animator, particularly in its cover image.
And you're not the first person who said that. Ichthus, somebody who's on some of the streams I do, he said the same thing last night about Don Bluth's work. Said she reminds him a lot of that.
Yeah. It's very animated, right? It's
I needed that too, and that's what actually drew me to her art. Is when I saw she could do facial expressions on animals, I was like, my whole writing style is to bring emotion out of you and put emotion and breathe life into the book. If you can't animate a character in their facial expressions, then it's much harder to relate. And so she was perfect for the job.
Yes. Yeah, this is true. So, but it also speaks to like the kind of audience you're going for, right? It's all ages.
It is. So I everything I write, it starts out very family friendly and somehow ends up in a very dark place. And this book, I would say it's all ages, but it does have a very dark undertone to it.
Right.
I think that's the best way to put it.
Man, it's so difficult to write on all ages book.
It really is. It's very difficult. This, like I said, this is originally supposed to be some happy-go-lucky one, and by the end of it, I'm like, what happened? Where are we?
Oh, wow. Look at this. So, guys, the link to this campaign is pinned in the chat. It's also in the description of this video. Go check it out. Go back. Go share it. If you back today, you get something extra with it. So you have like 8 preview pages that people can read along. How many pages is this complete book?
This is 36 pages. So so you get all my books. I kind of never put a cap on my page limit. I let the story tell itself, and whatever page that lands on is how big my book is.
Yes, that's a good.
Unless I run out of money, then I gotta fit it in 22 pages.
Yeah, but that's not. Look, man, the story needs what it needs. You can't really do a 46-page comic in 22 pages.
I agree.
It won't work. Really nice. So how did you learn how to write, and specifically to write comics?
So I good question. So I had no idea how to write. I have a million things on my like Google Docs, and they look more like your graphic novel or kind of format, but your novel format, not graphic novel. But I was like, how do I turn this into panels? Well, I remembered when I was a kid in the old DVDs, if you put the DVD on your screen, you could kind of see on the bottom different panels, and you could pick which scene you wanted to go to, right? And I was like, well, what if I took one scene and I broke that scene up, into different panels, and that's how I started writing. And so I just took one scene and started breaking it up into what would happen from here to here that wouldn't be too big of a leap, too short of a leap, and just the right amount. And really, I just started paneling it out. I don't know if you know him, but Tyler Carpenter, Draw and Talk Comics. When I first went to YouTube to try to figure out how the heck to do comics, I actually found his page, and he had done how to write a comic book script. I watched the video, and I was able to take what I thought I knew and put it into that format, and then that's how it was kind of born. So I give him a lot of props when it comes to me learning how to write a script. That was the first video I ever watched was on his channel. Yeah.
Wow. So it wasn't like you were familiar with the story, the way comics are structured usually. Did you read comics before this?
No, and that's another great question. So I was born into the indie comic book scene. That's not the way I put it. I never grew up around comics. I didn't really even know much about comics. It wasn't until I watched that movie and I was like, let's start writing comics. I got into comics, and from there I just learned, how to write comics. I started in, again, it was like page one comics, the kind of COVID era is when I really started getting involved, and it was the comic indie scene. It wasn't the big mainstream or anything like that. Everybody I was talking to was in indie comics. And so I started reading indie comics, and that's how I got into it.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. So this is the introduction to the villains.
Mm-hmm.
In the city, they all have names, or are they just minions of Crowbar?
Yes. So you got Crowbar with the forked beak, of course, and then I won't try to pick out each one. One of them is named Tit. One of them is named Charles. One of them is named Pecker, and the other one I actually asked my artist to name the bird, and she never ended up naming him, so he's nameless currently. We're still trying to figure out a name for one of them.
All right. Maybe the chat can name him.
Well, one of them is Johnny, and I don't want to give a spoiler alert. You can kind of see in the preview pages that Johnny doesn't have something coming very good to him. But yeah.
All right. Really nice. Quiet Johnny. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of see Johnny's kind of making a pointed comment about what Crowbar says, and Pecker's like, dude, you need to shut up before he hears you. And well, unfortunately, Crowbar heard him.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Because you can see right here, he walked up to him and he does a number on him.
Wow, that's brutal.
Yeah, and that's where this, it is pretty dark. It wasn't supposed to be, but again, how do you make a villain? Oh goodness, for me, how do you make a villain not dark? And
well, you basically can't. And even when you make something for all ages, you can do this. Children can take this. You have to have like villains that are actually scary. When you watch
the old Disney movies, man, old Disney movies were I look back at them, I'm like, man, these were actually scary. Nowadays, you have to try to figure out what children can handle when it comes to this kind of stuff for me to appropriately, age, put a stamp of an age, on it. And I don't know what that is nowadays.
That's correct. But you shouldn't also have to like sanitize like children's entertainment. Nowadays, it's not really necessary. Just keep it within certain proportions, and you can do a lot, right? Yeah, really nice art. It's interesting concept. So people can check out what you have. You have digital editions also. So if people want to support you, they don't want to like pay for shipping or whatever. They can simply purchase the digital edition. And it is done. You said so. Once the campaign is done, everyone gets the books
right off the bat. Yeah, I would say within 3 days, I'm going to have a message out with all the digital going straight out to the backers. Some people don't read the digital, I learned, until they get the physical. But if they only get the digital, then you'll get that within a couple days of the campaign.
Oh yes, because you offer the digital along with every physical order, also, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah, that's great. That's good service. For $7, that's perfect. And then you have the digital deluxe. What's with the deluxe?
So you get all the cover art along with that. You get some behind the scenes. So we originally had a few pages that weren't put into the book, so you get to kind of see those pages. We had originally we started the story out in a very different place where Astro was an adult in an alleyway dying. So we changed that completely and started from the beginning. I've actually learned in comics, just start from the beginning of the story and go from there. When you start at the middle, you've got to really start thinking a lot more about what happened in the past and how that affects the future. So originally we started in the middle of the story, and I decided, you know what, we're going to start at the beginning. So you get to see some of those pages, and then you get to see a sneak peek of my next book, Blossom. You get to see 8 pages of that. So nobody else is going to see that book. You're going to be the first one to see it, So that's kind of a special thing that you're going to get to see in the
sneak peek. Yeah,
books.
Fantastic. Welcome to the chat, Frederick Guimont. Welcome, sir.
100%.
I hope that I pronounce your name correctly. The villain makes the hero. Yeah, the villain makes the hero. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
100%.
the hero needs something to fight against, like to show us that he's an actual hero, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mike says, "No way, 80s Hollywood kids movies were the best for giving due credit to kids' intelligence, instincts, and sense of fancy." Yes,
I agree.
yeah, man. That's
Yeah.
why. These adults nowadays they don't get offended by things.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. We're raising a bunch of pansies nowadays, you know. It's like, goodness, man.
Oh man, what will the world look like in 40 years, man?
I don't even want to think about that.
Print edition, standard cover. For $12, you have the complete book. It was 36 pages, right?
Yes, sir.
Holy shit, dude! $12, 36 pages plus the digital. You get a sticker. You get a crowbar sticker also.
Yeah, everybody gets a free sticker with their any kind of physical order. Yeah.
Fantastic, beautiful. Then you have these are the different covers. So this cover is a little bit more expensive, $3 more.
Mm-hmm.
You get a cover which is drawn by. It's all the same artist.
Nope, that's by Ruben. So the standard cover is the interior artist and interior colorist.
Yeah,
and I like that because that tells you exactly what you're going to find in the book.
Yeah, perfect.
And then for the other variants, we actually have a mix. So we have this is the artist for the Astro cover is the same artist who did the last World's Forgotten series. So he did the World's Forgotten series. I wanted a more adult version of Astro as one of my covers, and he did that for me. He did both the line art and the colors for this cover.
All right. Yeah, nice. And then you have the $20 version.
Yep, and this is a mix. So this is actually this is Ruben doing the colors, and the art is done by the interior artist as well, Veronica Saracino.
All right. Nice, really nice. And you can get them all three for a little discount.
Yeah, you can get all three covers for $35, all in the same package. Yeah, it's not too bad of a deal, I think.
Right. So where did the name Bentox Comix come from, by the way?
Oh goodness, the way Chris explained it to me. So I used to work under the company named Unity Comix, and he was like, "Hey, I already got this established company named Bentox. Let's work under that." So we did. But his explanation of it is he was with a friend who does 3D printing or 3D work, right? And somehow, some way, they accidentally made like. He could explain it better than me. I think it was something along the lines as they made like a box, but it was bent, and they were kind of making a joke about it. And they were like, "Well, why not make the company Bentox Comics?" So it's nothing special, just something like an inside joke that ended up becoming the name.
Right. All right. By the way, guys, you have 7 minutes left to back and to get a free book with your order during the stream. If you're back during the stream, let us know, and you get a free comic.
Yep.
To give me everything for $75, you get the whole shebang, which also includes like other titles.
Other titles I've written. So you were asking how many books I've written. So far you've got Heathen, you've got The Last One, and World's Forgotten. You get the digital versions of all those, and those are pretty big books as well. And then you get the standees, so the acrylic standees of both Crowbar and Astro. The stickers already come with it. The coolest thing about it is the Astro pillowcase. So that's a pretty big pillow. All my nieces and nephews have those, and they love them. So it doesn't come stuffed because of shipping. You just have to buy the stuffing. It's super cheap on Amazon. But the actual pillowcase comes with that as well. And then all the covers, the PDFs, the posters, everything like that.
That's clever. I never thought of that. Like a pillow without the filling. I never thought of that.
Because you can package it, and you don't have to worry about a massive box and crazy shipping. And it's actually cheaper for the customer, to be honest, to be able to do it themselves. So you can see a better picture of it right there. That's an actual picture in my room.
Oh yeah. that thing is huge.
Yeah, it's a big pillow.
Wow, really cool. Yeah, man, it all looks fantastic. People can get a lot of add-ons also. So check it out. There's a lot of good stuff here, guys. This is something that we need to support, right? We need to support quality. Plus, we need to support all ages comics. We have a lot of indie comics, and a lot of it is well, like more mature-ish, like
Very adult.
So this is cool. We need this.
I started out with it wanting. I really wanted this to be an all ages comics again. Like I started out with that, and I think, and I believe, okay, how I grew up, I still believe it's an all age comics, right? And you know, so I would say it's an all age comics. It's got a dark undertone to it, you know, with your villain and what happened in the past. But there's not really blood and gore. It's just it's like your old Disney movies, right? Your old scary villain, you know. It's a good book. I think it's going to be a mini series. So I'm looking at like 6 issues right now, for a full story, eventually turning it into a hardcover graphic novel. So.
Okay, that is fantastic. Well, no one wants a free book today. That's weird.
It's dude, it's all good, man. It's all good.
By the way, I still need to back this, so I will get on this later on. Frederick says the secret of Nim was all ages, but really dark.
Yeah. It's super sad. I don't want to get too many spoilers, but well, it's sad what happens in issue 1. So it is pretty dark in issue 1, but what's even more sad is the villain's backstory is even worse. So if you read issue 1, you can just imagine what the backstory for Crowbar is after you read this book.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You must be so proud, man, that you came up with the concept, and now it's his book, right? All you need to do now is print it out. You are funded, so we all know that it's coming, guys. Go, guys, if you're watching, go share out this campaign, please. Let's get more people to see this. Let's talk about this campaign. Support indie creators.
Yeah, all around, man, all around. You know, I'm continuously backing books. I love the indie scene. Like you said, man, it's where creativity. It's where the creativity is right now.
Yeah, look, man, there's something for everybody. This is what we need. So stop the screen. Right. Thank you, John, for being my guest for today and for showing us your wonderful book.
Thank you for having me on, man.
Yeah, you're very, very, very welcome. All right, before we go, guys, I need to show you something because I have my own thing going on. So you can sign up to Perfect 10 Book 5 and POWERTRIP Book 2. This is the pre-launch page. If you sign up, maybe there's something extra for you there, you know. So all you need to do is type in your little email, sign up, and you get notified when we go live. So book 5, this story is crazy. There are like a gazillion characters. It's a nightmare to write, but we're getting this done, guys. It's if you like superhero stuff, this is the superhero material that I like to read, right? So I make what I love to read, and we have the book Perfect 10 5, but also POWERTRIP book 2, which is a anthology book with 3 shorter stories from the genuine universe, made by different creative teams, which also worth your attention. So thank you all so much for signing up. Stop the screen. All right. Again, John, thank you very much. Good luck with your campaign. You have what did you 2 weeks left?
Yeah, about halfway through. Yeah.
All right, man. Do you have some streams planned? Are you going on some other shows?
I have a stream in 2 weeks. I'm actually going to be at a Comic-Con next weekend.
Weeks? You have a stream in 2 weeks.
Yep. Yeah. I am going to probably start reaching out to some other creators. You know, we didn't get too much into it, but I took a step back for a while from the scene just because of the chaos that's happening. I'm trying to get back into it. I'm trying to get, back into the scene, and hopefully I can do that in the next 2 weeks for the campaign. and going forward. So
Sure.
yeah.
Right. All right. Okay, John. Thanks again, and special thanks to the chat for everyone who showed up today. Thank you so much for being here, for watching us. Because without you, we're just talking to nobody. So, so thank you so much. If you like the conversation, give it a like. If you didn't like the conversation, give it a dislike, and I'm very sorry. I will be back next Sunday. So same channel, same time, new guest. Hope to see you guys then. See you then, guys. Bye.
Take it easy, guys.